First up on the ice, the brilliant Soviet pair, Larisa Selezneva and Oleg Makarov.
These Soviet skaters are the senior pair in terms of experience. They drop out of the medals here, but their show skating is grand. She's an actress. Larisa Selezneva and Oleg Makarov.
Somewhat disappointing performance in the Worlds, not because they didn't skate well, but they were defeated by their skating style. But this number is exactly perfect for what they do best. Don't you agree?
Yes, we've seen it before, and we always enjoy it, and certainly this crowd in Halifax does. They're getting a standing ovation.
Perhaps this makes up for their fourth place finish.
People just love them.
De danse. From the Soviet Union, the Soviet Union, Usova, Alexander Zhulin.
She has all the grace and the presence of the ballerina because she is Bolshoi trained. They are also classic performers on the ice, bronze medalists here from the Soviet Union, Maya Usova and Alexander Zhulin.
this pair, they fell from second place last year to third this year with the best performance of their lives. She has also been renowned for rather outrageous costumes, but when you look like that, I guess you can wear anything.
Oh, absolutely, Tyler. And this couple, they had a classical approach to their competitive piece this year. I think next year you're going to see something more along these lines, now that the rules are wide open.
Another very gritty display here came from the former United States men's champion and last year's world silver medalist, Christopher Bowman. He was fighting back from an injury and some conditioning problems, but won the bronze in Halifax.
taking note, but Tyler, I would hate to think what the judges are doing.
Well, Tracy, I was thinking the same thing, and I only wish that we could have seen this in the competition, because if we had the ceiling would have caved in and killed everybody.
My goodness, I can't help but smile.
I guess his only problem is that he doesn't have an ego.
But what do you think about the outfit?
Well, I'm glad he's wearing it and not me, and certainly not Ted Reynolds.
Well, he is getting a standing ovation, and he just loves to go around the house and give the young ladies a bus.
He makes me very aware of the generation gap between him and myself.
He's leaving the ice now, and his most ardent supporter, watching every move and really getting a big kick out of it, was the world champion, Kurt Browning. He enjoyed it as much as anyone.
Maybe one day they'll end up like Torval and Dean. Who knows? Certainly the Duchesnays are right on the road. Paul and Isabelle, what a terrific couple they are. They set the crowd alight here at Nova Scotia, taking out the silver medal in the free skating program. Now, with a few embellishments and a whole lot of flair, the dynamic duo, Paul and Isabelle Duchesnay.
After the degrees, the temperature in the Metro Center, several degrees on Friday night. From France, de la France, Isabelle Duchesnay and Claude Duchesnay.
Quite a wild welcome for the world silver medalists in ice dancing. And they have the best of two nations. Isabelle and Paul Duchesnay are Canadians. They skate for France. And they skated here to Missing. And this is that number that won them the silver medal.
Tracy, I think it's an interesting choice to do this number as an exhibition number. It's very unorthodox that you would use your competitive number, but I think they probably have something to say. They have an artistic torch to carry, and this is the best way for them to say it, to redo their competitive number.
I also think it must be a nice relief for the judges to be able to sit back and watch this and not have to judge it.
Coming out once more to a thunderous applause here in Halifax for their encore. The silver medalists in ice dancing 1990, Isabelle and Paul Duchesnay.
It's interesting to analyze the program because as I watch it, I try to answer to myself why the program is so fascinating. But I think one thing is there's sort of understated emotion, which is rare in ice dance. They are not trying to prove anything to the audience. They're revealing their honest, true emotions. And I think that that's one of the most effective things about the skating.
Christopher Dean was the choreographer of this piece, and he got the inspiration from a ballet.
That's true, Tracy, and something also that's interesting is the music was not from Chile at all, but it was actually Irish. But whatever works, works.
Time we'll see the compulsory figures. That's when the skaters go out and do figure eights and so forth. It's not all that exciting. Certainly it didn't excite Midori Ito. She didn't do very well in it, finishing 10th, but was so outstanding in the free skating program, she ended up finishing 2nd. Right now, the 1989 world champion and silver medalist at Nova Scotia, Midori Ito.
The world silver medalist this year, last year's world ladies champion, again the free skating winner here. She has added an entirely new dimension to ladies free skating from Japan, Midori Ito.
Tracy, Scott Hamilton, when Midori skated the long program and did that incredible triple axel on CBS, let out a yelp. He was commentating. Well, my yelp got stuck in my stomach and nothing came out. So I do apologize for that, because we will well remember that jump as being the most incredible jump that anybody in the World Championship had ever seen a female perform. I think it's fair to say that we probably won't see that kind of skating for the next 50 years. And I'm talking, of course, the jumping ability.
Like Kurt Browning said, I'm glad she's not in the men's event.
Midori Ito thrilling this crowd here. A quick change of costume backstage.
It's fun to watch the audience when Midori steps out on the ice and starts waving. They all start waving back at her.
As on the world stage, really, it sort of began at the Olympic Games in Calgary. She just thrilled everybody. And then, of course, last year as she won the World Championship in Paris. And since she exploded upon the scene, as Caller has mentioned, the entire look of female free skating has changed. This crowd want her back. Here she comes for an encore. The silver medalist from Japan, Midori Ito.
Chad, let's say silver medal with gold leaf over it. Those skaters that historically will remembered for being a victim of the school figures, and it was the school figures that prevented her from winning a gold medal here in Halifax.
Midori Ito from Japan. The crowd loves her. We're at the Parade of Champions in Halifax, and we'll return in a moment. Canada's history of producing many of the best pairs in the world dates back to the 1920s and 1930s, and it continued here. Silver medalists in Halifax, Isabelle Brasseur and Lloyd Eisler.
clouds have all disappeared and the sun is shining on this couple. I think they can look forward to one of the most exciting years of their life coming up.
And I have to say that right now they're aimed dead at Munich next year, where the World Championships will be held. And what a force they will be on the strength of what they have done here in Halifax.
So we're going to listen in the men's event. The men now have a comment on the second half. Viktor Petrenko.
The men's competition here was a thrilling two-way extravaganza, producing an extremely close finish. And the silver medal went to this very classy young Soviet skater, the European champion, Viktor Petrenko.
There's no time for us. There's no place for us. What is this thing that builds our dreams, yet slips away from us? Who wants to live forever? Who wants to live forever? Who dares to love forever? When love must die. Touch my tears, touch my heart with your fingertips, and wants to live
Viktor Petrenko is one of the most powerful and most serious skaters in the men's competition today. We will never forget the original short program, which was about the best skating we've ever seen, bar none. But only Canadian Kurt Browning could beat him, and he did in the long program. But it was a close competition. I think Christopher Bowman's had some kind of influence on Viktor. I don't know.
Beyond the sky.
I think something interesting is happening here, and that is, it's not so much the skating that is bringing people to their feet, but it is really the respect and the admiration of a terrific sportsman and terrific athlete.
Maybe blowing in the world of ice dancing, but still the ice dancing champions of the world, a title they won in Paris last year. From the Soviet Union, Marina Klimova and Sergei Ponomarenko.
Something interesting here, Tracy. Both the Duchesnays and Klimova Ponomarenko have used their long program as exhibition numbers. In a way, it's kind of like a competition without a competition. Inside a competition, rather, to prove something. But I don't think that this couple, nor the Duchesnays, have to prove anything. Both are extraordinary artists in their own way. One has a different approach, the other, but both have to be appreciated. And we will long remember the night where they skated back to back, each getting 6.0. I think they deserved it.
This gala performance in Nova Scotia is not just important for the skaters so that they can let their hair down. It's important for their future, because out there in the audience are talent scouts with big, fat checkbooks. What they're looking for is personality and glamour. This next lady possesses the lot. The 1990 World Figure Skating Champion, Jill Trenery.
Once again, the United States has the ladies figure skating champion of the world, and the public address announcer just introduced her as the beautiful Jill Trenery. Indeed, she is, and she fought back from a troubled short program to win.
Georgia Brown will tear up this town. No gal maid has got a shade on sweet Georgia Brown. Two left feet, but oh so neat hands, sweet Georgia Brown. They all sigh, wanna die for sweet Georgia Brown. I'll tell you just why. You know I don't lie, not much. It's been said she knocks them dead when she lands in town. Since she came, why, it's a shame how she cools them down. Fellas that she can't get, or fellas that she ain't met. Georgia named her, Georgia claimed her, sweet Georgia Brown.
As to whether Jill will turn professional. And Taller, I think that amateur skating will really miss her if she does.
They will miss her, particularly they'll miss looking at her. She's so beautiful. But if one is to be fair, Jill Trenery could not have won this competition if Midori Ito had not fallen apart in the school figures. But she will make a wonderful addition, I think, if she decides to turn professional, to the professional family of skaters, and I predict a very lucrative and long and brilliant career for her as a professional. Well, that is, of course, if she does turn professional.
Well, Jill, of course, has joined a long list of marvelous Americans who have won world championships, and she is a very worthy selection to join that group. Coming out for an encore, the new ladies world figure skating champion from the United States, Jill Trenery. A rose was left in the ice, and Jill Trenery has picked it up for starting this, her encore, the new ladies world champion.
Well, Tracy, I think it's probably appropriate that you skate to the music Body Heat, because for obvious reasons, it's the perfect choice.
Here in Halifax, and for this couple from the Soviet Union, it was a 4th World Championship. Ekaterina Gordeeva and Sergei Grinkov.
The pairs competition in the long program was one of the most difficult competitions I've ever had to commentate about. I was confused by placing the top 4. This pair won. There was an undeniable refinement and quality. They didn't skate the performance of their life, but the fact remains there's something pure and refined about them that triumphed in the end. I think they're a worthy world champion.
Ekaterina Gordeeva and Sergei Grinkov, the reigning Olympic champions, now 4-time world champions. They did perhaps skate the performance of their life to win the European Championship in Leningrad when they were not leading coming into the free skating.
At the end of that competition, particularly because of the Eisler Brasseur performance, I found that the next day I was wondering whether or not I had assessed it correctly, because each one of the top 4 could have been the world champion. But I think that they are far, far the most experienced skaters and highly deserving of that title.
They are once again the world champions with an encore, Gordeeva Grinkov.
to go for it. Can they make the magic 10 as Irina Rodnina?
I think that would be very difficult. They're certainly made of the stuff, but let's not forget the kind of competition that they have to face going into the 90s. It doesn't get any easier.
Here in Nova Scotia. But none possess his artistry, his ability to interpret the music. None who are able to hush a crowd, particularly with this next number, performed to the music from Les Miserables. A simple routine, but absolutely spellbinding.
Here is the first Canadian man to win back-to-back World Figure Skating Championships, and he did it with his immense talent, yes, but also with a display of courage and daring. Canada's gold medal winner, Kurt Browning.
There are many world champions in the history of figure skating, and some of those champions are super hit champions or historically important champions. I think Kurt Browning is one of those super champions. With this performance, unlike so many of the others, he was daring enough to try something different and allow skating to take its natural course and plow into the 80s by doing something that for him is a great departure from anything that he's done or anything that we've seen any of the other male skaters do.
Kurt Browning had them in the palm of his hand. With that marvelous interpretation, this crowd was just waiting. They were spellbound, I think. And now we wait as Kurt Browning prepares to skate an encore. Twice now, in succession, the figure skating champion of the world.
What I particularly liked about this program that we just saw was the fact that it did not rely on the jumps that we saw in the long program and in the short program, that there was another quality there, another side of Kurt Browning that we haven't seen, and that is certainly to be admired.
For an encore now, Canada's men's world champion, Kurt Browning.
Over all skaters all over Canada, and for that matter all over the world. He's a perfect role model, and he's every bit as much a champion off ice as he is on.
And he's coming back. That is Kurt behind the shades. Kurt Browning.
Just hang on, Kurt. They got so excited they can't find the music. I think we're okay. You can get it good and you'll hold it.
Hello? I'm the guy who sits next to you and reads the newspaper over your shoulder. Wait, don't turn the page. I'm not finished. Life is so uncertain. Here I am. philosophy come by. We could always opt for the more temporal gratification of sheer physical attraction. That wouldn't make you a shallow person, would it?
Here I am. Yes, it's me. Take my hand and here I am. Yes, it's true. All I want, girl, is you. Now find a man who's loving ain't easy thing to do. You gotta know just what you're looking for and where to find it too. She's hot to go, she's bad. She's hot to go, she's hot to go. You got to know it's stop and girl.
Look, I understand too little too late. I realize there are things you say and do you can never take back. But what would you be if you didn't even try? You have to try. So after a lot of thought, I'd like to reconsider. Please, if it's not too late, make it a cheeseburger.
Well, Ted, I think all the superlatives that could possibly be said have been said about Kurt Browning. But what comes across more than ever before is that he is a great star, he has star quality, and his personality is larger than life.
And he's a great, great champion, Canada's Kurt Browning.
Well, that's skating at its absolute best. Totally